I'm Dr. John Gartner.
And I'm Dr. Harry Siegel.
And welcome to this preview of Shrinking Trump.
On our show this week, we cover three very important topics. The first, of course, is the judiciary and what's been going on with these court rulings, especially the one limiting federal judges from issuing injunctions. Right, John?
Yes. And also we cover the big ugly bill and the update of the week on Trump's dementia. Ask him a question and he'll babble about something completely irrelevant.
I just want to take this one moment to talk about Trump's psychology. I don't know how many of you out there have ever experienced a real sociopath. It's also the term psychopath. They're really interchangeable. But a sociopath is somebody who has no empathy for others, takes pleasure in humiliating, robbing, extorting, blackmailing others, and feels no compunction. That is, no guilt, no remorse. It's an extreme form of personality disorder, and Trump has features of it along with his malignant narcissism. That means that if you've ever known a real bully in high school, that was a sociopath. That's somebody who would threaten to beat you up if you didn't give them your lunch money. These are people who enjoy humiliating you and will chase you down and beat the crap out of you. They're very hard to fight because they never want to back down. Yeah. And no, I'm glad you right. And what we're seeing in Congress right now is Trump threatening anyone who opposes him on this bill. Even though it's a terrible bill, it's destructive in all kinds of ways, but not in the short term. In the short term, it's fine.
Well, except for the people on Medicaid. I want to get back to what you're saying about the malignant narcissist. For a malignant narcissist, because they're sadists, okay, it's not enough to win. You also have to harm as many people as possible.
And humiliate them.
And also because he is such a, we've talked about how he revels in tricking and screwing people who trust him. That's how perverse and evil he really is. So think about this. They're going to throw something like 17 million people off of Medicaid, which he promised he would never do, which is really causing irreparable harm to these people. But it's disproportionately going to affect rural Republican voters. They're estimating that hundreds of rural hospitals are going to close. They're just going to close because most of their money comes from Medicaid. That's their whole revenue stream. So if you kick all the people off of Medicaid, they have no paying customers and they're going to go under. So it reminds me actually of what Trump used to do with his buildings, right? It wasn't enough that he's making millions and millions just by giving his name, to brand some building. He also has to screw the workmen and not pay them. He also has so it's always. Not enough. Always, right? And he does it repeatedly. The people who hung the curtains, the people that did the carpet, all those people go unpaid. So it's not enough that he makes a fortune. He also has to screw innocent people.
Right. What he would do is pay half the bill and say, you're famous for working for me. That's worth at least half of your bill. And then people would sue him and he would just fight them in court because they couldn't last as long as he would. I mean, this is a kind of ruthlessness. And it's so hard. I'm going to give you one other example. When I was at the University of Michigan, I was a graduate student in psychology, there was a scandal. An advanced medical student, a chief resident, was arrested for selling prescription drugs. And when the cops came to his house and knocked on the door and said, "Are you so-and-so?" He said, "No." And he walked past them and walked out of the house. Turns out he was engaged to 3 different women who didn't know about each other. This was a severe sociopath who got caught.
Yeah.
No remorse, no caring. And they're so dangerous because they'll do anything to you.
Right.
You can't reason with them. You can't ask them for mercy.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Trump is getting stuff through Congress by doing this to the senators and congressmen, and he's doing it to the people in the country who will be affected by the bill.
Listen to Trump at a news conference. He's asked a question not once but twice. How long are migrants going to be kept in the alligator gulag that they're building out there in Florida? Okay, so they asked not once but twice. Hear how Trump answers that question.
Dana Marie McNichol, Fox News Channel. Mr. President, is there an expected time frame that detainees will spend here, days, weeks, months? And does that have anything to do with the immigration judges you just spoke about being trained and staffed here?
When you say, what was the first part of your question?
Is there a specific time frame you expect the detainees to spend here, days, weeks, months?
In Florida?
Yes, here at Alligator Alcatraz.
I'm going to spend a lot. Look, this is my home state. I love it. I love your government. I love all the people around. These are all friends of mine. They know them very well. I mean, I'm not surprised that they do so well. They're great people. Ron has been a friend of mine for a long time. I feel very comfortable in the state. I'll spend a lot of time here. I want to, for 4 years, I've got to be in Washington, and I'm okay with it because I love the White House. I even fix up the little Oval Office. I make it, it's like a diamond. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It wasn't maintained properly, I will tell you that. But even when it wasn't, it was still the Oval Office, so it meant a lot. But I'll spend as much time as I can here. You know, my vacation is generally here because it's convenient. I live in Palm Beach. It's my home. And I have a very nice little place, nice little cottage to stay at, right? But we have a lot of fun, and I'm a big contributor to Florida, pay a lot of tax. And a lot of people move from New York, and I don't know what New York is going to do. A lot of people moved to Florida from New York, and it was for a lot of reasons, but one of them was taxes. The taxes are so high in New York, they're leaving. I don't know what New York's going to do about that, because some of the biggest, wealthiest people and some of the people that pay the most taxes of any people anywhere in the world, for that matter, they're moving to Florida and other places. So we're going to have to help some of these states out, I think. But thank you very much. I'll be here as much as I can. Very nice question. With that, I'd like to just end by saying I want to.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Right?
He just went on a tear. It had nothing to do with the question.
Nothing.
Didn't understand it. And then went on about everything.
After having watched that a few times, I think he starts talking about how much time he's going to spend in Florida. That's the only connecting idea, right?
Yes.
But twice they asked him, how long are these migrants that you're putting in this concentration camp? How long are they going to be in the concentration camp? And he goes, oh, I have a nice place in Florida. I like to spend as much time here as I can. I love your governor. We're not asking how long you're going to be in Florida. This is our president.
And this is the kind of decline that John and I have been documenting and talking about, right? Because it's not psychotic. He's not coming out and saying, the clouds have machine guns and they're shooting at my head. I mean, it's not crazy.
Right.
It's tangential. He's answering things in a he's kind of flipping around nearby, kind of adjacent, answering the question and also congratulating himself. And I made the Oval Office really kind of like a jewel because it was everyone before me had neglected it because I'm really great. And I have a little place, Mar-a-Lago, a little cottage. He just goes off into an example to congratulate himself. So that's our preview. Please don't just watch the preview, watch the whole show. We are first live streamed on Fridays at 3 p.m. on the Really American Network. That's 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And after that, you can watch the show anytime you like. You can download it. You can also listen to it as an audio podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, and wherever you find your podcasts. We really hope to see you there.
See you there.